Good, whatever time of the day it is you happen to be listening. This is the PNA Podcast Express, episode number 5932, BUDWEISER 4.
That's sexy right there.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
That's nice. I like that. I like those. That's a good call sign right there. Good call letters.
Yes, Budweiser 4.
Budweiser 4. Budweiser.
Yes. So it is the June 29th edition.
Is that what it is?
Who would know that we would be going still?
How the shit is this still going? He's Adam Filkins. I'm Phil Nickel. We started this bullshit last November.
Yeah.
Damn.
Cray.
It is crazy. It's starting to get some traction, too. Like, we have a whole, at least, 7 loyal fans that I know of.
Yes, loyal fans. I mean, we're not talking casual fans.
Yeah, the in-and-outer casual fans. We have at least anywhere between 3 to 17 of those.
Some of these people even stalk us a little bit. I'm pretty sure I saw Cookie outside my window in the hedges.
He's the historian for the podcast.
Well, I'm sure he was probably trying to get some...
just seeing what you're up to.
Yeah, he needed to know, and damn it, he's going to find out.
He's just checking in. He said, I got to go check in on Adam and see what he's up to. Don't worry, I keep my shades closed, but he's probably, figured out what I'm doing inside my house, and it's probably not PC.
He's got one of those FLIR infrared things, and he's like, why is he so hot there? Oh. Didn't need to know that.
Wow, that's a lot of heat coming from the midsection.
Did not need to know.
There's some friction there. I should buy Phil some lotion.
Careful what you wish for, Cookie.
Be careful what you wish for. Yeah, you never know. You might be right in the middle of it. Anyway, if you want to communicate with us, you can email us at pnapodcastexpress@gmail.com or pineapple nipple arsehole, that's all one word, and yes, it is arse, A-R-S-E, hole, because they want to give us asshole, at gmail.com. So pineapple nipple arsehole at gmail.com. Any emails this week, anything?
Spam? I really didn't look, and my phone was dead, so I left it in the car.
You've been so busy this week.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week.
It has.
Huge project at work and a whole bunch of stuff going on outside of work, so I'm pretty happy to be here.
I know, happy to be here. So am I, and it's quiet here. We're at the Silver Tavern in Deckerville. We haven't mentioned that, our normal stomping ground. We are going to get out and about now that everything is officially opened up and no more restrictions, and maybe change our locale a little bit and spread it out on the road.
Pretty thrilled that I'm able to go to Walmart and not wear a condom.
Yeah.
Things like that.
The face diaper, as a lot of people affectionately call it.
Yeah. Oh, is that what we're supposed to wear? I was told that I needed to wear something for everyone's protection, so I wore condoms.
Oh, I just put a condom on. You're like, I am wearing it. They're like, no, you're not. Well, you want me to show you?
Ain't nobody getting pregnant now.
That's right. Put your rubbers on for safe walking is what we always said at the farm. Put your rubbers on for safe walking.
Yes. If you're walking, you're probably doing it wrong, but you were wrong amongst farm animals, so you had that going too.
Well, I got a few gear grinds here actually.
All right. Are these drunken Phil notes?
Some of them are drunken Phil notes. Yes.
Nice, I like it.
Some of them are drunken Phil notes. One of them is I had a trip to Taco Bell, and everything was very skimpy, so it was not a fat person making my Taco Bell, and I was very upset.
Sandusky Taco Bell?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was thin. I mean, I ordered the chicken chipotle melts because I like those things. They're on the dollar menu, and let's face it, I'm cheap. We all know that. But they're tasty. But it had 4 pieces of chicken in it.
I got a chicken soft taco supreme.
Yeah.
And it looked like they just tried to wrap the tortilla around a little bit of... There was no... about a 1-inch strip of sour cream in the middle of it. There was... The thing that really pissed me off is all the lettuce and tomato pretty much and cheese fell out of it because they didn't wrap it up right.
Right.
And then hardly any chicken. It's is there a chicken shortage?
I don't know.
I really want to put a sign out front that says hiring fat people.
Hiring fat people, yes.
Because they have not been hiring well.
And this really, really pours me into my next thought I had while I was in my drunken stupor, and I did some things that I shouldn't have done. As evidence of the story I told you about the beverage tent earlier. Mm-hmm. We hope you're getting your mail at the post. They're getting your mail at the radio station there, Eddie. What a great line.
Good luck, Eddie.
Yeah, good luck, Eddie.
Godspeed.
You know, I realize this. How often do you see attractive people that are poor? Think about this. Here in the United States, if there's an attractive person, they're definitely affluent. They have money.
Seems that way, yes.
Yeah. Is that just me? Is it the cart and the horse, the egg and the chicken, or is it just the fact that they're attractive, that's why they have money? Or is it the fact that they have money so they can be attractive? I haven't decided astutely. Although general attractiveness, I'm talking about your looks without, makeup, without fancy clothes, without everything.
Right.
Like, attractive people tend to do better financially.
Why aren't you and I loaded?
Yeah, shit.
Wait.
No, it makes perfect sense why I'm dirt poor. That's
yes.
absolutely right. Ugh, gross. I don't even look at me in mirrors. Have I ever told you this before? I hate looking at myself in a mirror. I don't like pictures of myself. I don't ever look at them. I don't listen to my own voice. I don't like anything about me, basically.
So you're like a vampire.
Somewhat, although I know there's a reflection there because sometimes, I do have to look in a mirror if I'm like, I do check for stray nose hairs and things like that. Just because. And to trim up, God forbid, to trim up the beardage a little bit because sometimes it's needed.
So you're basically a metrosexual, is what you're saying.
No, because I trim my beard every once in a while. Yeah, I'm definitely. You can look at me and definitely tell by the way I dress and the way I use my walk.
Any self-care is considered, being a metrosexual.
Oh, yeah. Is that how it is now? Any self-care at all?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. What about jerking off? Is that considered self-care?
Yes.
It is? Oh,
yep.
Geez. I must be definitely metrosexual then.
Yeah. It's like the epitome of self-care.
Because sometimes when I'm bored, I'm just like, bored. What to do? Oh, I might as well jerk off. And
you look over at the Jergens lotion.
Yeah,
give it that look.
And next thing you know, you realize it's the fourth time that day, and just dust comes out, and you're like, I'm getting too old for this.
But I'm so well moisturized.
Yeah, but everything on the outside is moist, but everything on the inside is just a barren wasteland. It's just like the California raisins in the sun.
Yeah. So I have a gear grind.
All right, lay it on me. Lay your gear grind on me.
So my gear grind today is the heat index.
Oh, it's a bunch of bullshit, isn't it?
Oh, it's
my poor friends. I know that some listen, especially Frank. It's over 100 degrees in the greater Seattle area the last couple days. That's hot for out there.
Our AC unit went out in our office today.
Yeah,
like just in our little part of the hospital. And I had a lot of work today that I had to do in my office. It was terrible. It was just awful. So the heat index, Nazi propaganda.
Interestingly enough, it was some of Adolf Hitler had a trusty band of meteorologists he called them Weather Boys, and they're the ones that came up with the heat index. They came up with the wind chill factors too. So it's them Weather Boys, that group of Nazi meteorologists. That there's someday there'll be a book or a movie about them. I have a feeling, but just very unheralded for people to know out there that Adolf Hitler had his own meteorologist under his thumb, and he told them what they could and couldn't say, and definitely censored the shit out of them. But they found ways around it. So instead of saying things like it's hot, Adolf Hitler said you can't say that because then people think about the Jewish people I'm throwing in ovens. So they came up with the things like the heat index. So that's a workaround for them boys, them meteorology boys that Adolf Hitler had under his thumb. So just so you know.
Huh. The more you know.
And the wind chill is all about when he decided to go into invade Russia in the winter, which is the same mistake that Napoleon made, and didn't account for how cold and crude the Russian winters are. The meteorologist, he banned them from saying it's cold, so they came up with the wind chill factor. You see, that's the history of that, just to let you know. So, once again, something harkens back to Nazi Germany.
Well, fantastic.
Is your mom there?
No, I'm home.
Well, you won a prize. What's your address?
42 Oak Street. Hey, Roblox, some stranger's bringing me a prize.
A stranger, huh? All he wanted to bring you was trouble. Remember, never tell anyone you're home alone, and never give anyone your address.
I'll say Mom can't come to the phone.
Smart thinking.
Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!
So, once again, speaking of Nazi propaganda...
Did that take you back, though?
Took me way back. Took me way back. Don't tell strangers your address.
But that's how Tinder works.
That is exactly... And Grindr, too.
Well, yeah.
That's exactly how they work. So I was talking to this guy last night, and so here's... Oh, I got another... Oh, and I'm only half... I'm not... A quarter of the way through my notes.
I know. I figured I'd throw mine in just to interrupt.
And I appreciate it before I get rolling.
Yeah.
So last night I decide to go out to eat because I'm feeling alone and lonely and just feeling alone in general right now because all my friends are busy. Like, you're working a lot, and Eddie's just being Eddie, and Mikey Smith's being Mikey Smith. He's busy with shit because he's got a, baby. And
yeah.
My cousin Mike, he's busy because he's on vacation with his girlfriend. And so I decide I'm flying solo. I didn't feel like being around people. So I decided to go to Forster last night. And I'm sitting there, and there's like 6 people sitting at the bar. So there's some open stools, but you'd be sitting right beside somebody.
Right.
So I sat in one of the high tops, thinking, this is good, this is great. Lo and behold, this one guy who's always usually at Blue and just talks and talks and talks. This guy talks more than I do. So picture that. That's frame of reference for you right there.
So we need him as a guest.
Yeah, like he just talks. And he knows me from Blue, and he remembers everything about our visits and our conversations, but I have so many conversations with people that I don't remember exactly what I've talked to him about. He decides, mind if I come over and sit by you or sit with you? And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. So I had to eat, like, instead of enjoying my meal, I hammered my food down because I don't like eating in front of people I don't know. Is that weird?
No.
Yeah. Like, for some reason, it's just like, I like to be comfortable when I eat. I eat in front of, like, my friends, things like that.
Yeah. Well,
but,
like, I'm munching fries right now,
you're
but
fine.
If there was, like, other people here that I didn't know,
it'd be weird,
would.
Yeah. So he sits there, and I'm just like, oh. So then I gets done, and I've only had one beer so far. And I'm thinking to myself, should I be an asshole here? Should I not? And I'm like, I've been an asshole a lot lately, as evidenced by the beer tent night and some other things. Like, I've been an asshole a lot. So I ordered another beer and sat there and drank it and listened to him regale me with his stories. He knows a lot about Tiger baseball, so at least we have that common ground we can talk about. But man, you go out there to be alone, and all of a sudden you're like... And then once you know it, once he came over and sat like at the high top with me across from me, like every seat at the bar was open. So I could have just sat at the bar and commiserated in my own... waller in my own filth and commiseration.
You could just shut your big yapper!
Those drops are a little quiet. So I just want to tell that, like, this guy, God bless him. I mean, it seems like he's a single guy too, from what I deduce, and he's older. He's probably in his late 50s, I think, maybe early 60s. And what led me to this story is he was telling me about, oh man, I'm on Facebook dating. You should get on that. You should get on that. I'm not on, I'm on Farmers Only, but I'm not on any other dating apps right now. And I don't ever check the Farmers Only. I just have an account from years ago as a joke. And he's like, well, went on a date with this one from Facebook dating, and she had a head injury or something, and she couldn't have a fan on or anything blowing on her head, and no air, and I'm like, that's weird. He's like, yeah, so that didn't really work out. And then this other one, I'm having fun with her, but she's good at everything. We took her out square dancing, and she had to teach me square dancing, and it was too much. He said, she's good at everything. And then we played cornhole, and she whooped my ass, and blah, blah, blah. He's like, I don't know if I can stand for that. I'm like, what, letting a woman beat you at something? Like, Jesus Christ, I'm terrible at everything, so I want a woman that makes more money than I do and is better than I am at everything.
There's no reason.
That sounds like
to
a blessing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, jeez, man. Come on, man. Unbelievable. Yeah, there it is. So that was my adventure last night. I did order the prime rib. It was pretty good. But
that was at the inn?
At the Forster Inn. But they do this weird fucking thing to you where I said to the lady, I want the 12-ounce portion of prime rib. And she's like, oh, so they call the 12-ounce the queen, and they call the 16-ounce the king. And she's like, oh, so you want the queen? I'm like, yes, the 12-ounce. She's like, the queen then? I'm like, Yes, the fucking queen. Are you going to make me say it? I'm ordering a fucking steak with the name of a queen.
Hello.
Hello. So I'm like, because she couldn't deduce that the 12 ounce was the queen and 16 ounces the king. I didn't need 16 ounces of beef swimming around in my fat belly as it was.
Yeah, I'd have went 16.
Yeah, I know. But I was full though. And then I ate it so quickly it was uncomfortable, and then my farts were hot later in the night. Have you ever had hot farts? They're the worst.
Yeah.
When they're hot. Oh.
Usually after, at work we have a penchant for tequis.
Yeah.
You ever had those, the Fuego tequis?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they'll make you take a popsicle to the bathroom with you. Every time.
So I had to eat my food. So then it was uncomfortable, and I'm already feeling ashamed of myself as it is, and so my queen steak did me in, and my dinner was uncomfortable, and I know what else. I have this weird. I've decided another one of my weird hangups is I'm addicted to food on rollers, like at gas station rollers, like hot dogs or tornadoes, or they've got these egg rolls that are horrible, but yet I love them.
For some reason I like the Monterey cheddar chicken things,
tornadoes or whatever they're called.
Tornadoes. Or the buffalo ones. The buffalo ones are solid.
Like I have this weird thing where if I see food on a roller, I gravitate toward it, and I have to buy something.
But I don't like the stuff that's in like a tortilla.
No.
I like the breaded chicken stuff. I like, the Monterey cheddar one's good because it's got hunks of Monterey cheddar in it.
Like, this is a 100% know why I'm fat. Because if I go into a gas station and there's shit on a roller, I'm going to buy something.
And you feel dumb buying one.
Right. So you buy
because what a
two.
waste of the little baggie. They're made for two.
And let me tell you what I found out the other day. If you want to buy a sausage or a hot dog or a brat or something, and they always have that cheese you've got to load it up with, the squiggly cheese that they use for the nachos. And hopefully they have the chili sauce too, which is terrible. It's more like this red sauce that's flavored like chili, but it's hell to eat when you've got a beard and a mustache. It just gets all over. I look like a cheese walrus by the time it was all done.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I was driving down the road, people are like doing a double take, like, what the fuck, is that a cheese walrus?
I shouldn't say anything. You would have that problem more so than me because I tease you about being a metrosexual, but I have two different trimmers for my beard and stuff. So
I only have one, and you know what it is? A pair of scissors.
Yeah, mine are not manual. And
well, you see, the reason behind that is, you see, what had happened was,
gay.
I had a nice set of electric trimmers for my beard, but when I had a roommate in Mason, the same one that ruined my couch, he decided to use his for the downstairs man. So I decided I couldn't, in good conscience, use it on my beard anymore.
Well, he was tired of your beard and his downstairs getting tangled.
I don't know about all that story, but sure.
I was assuming. I took a lot of liberty.
Yeah,
with
they dreadlocked themselves together, man.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how dreads are formed. It could be. It could very well be.
We got to match the beeswax in, man.
So, the one time I heard my clippers running, and he came out, and his facial hair looked exactly the same. And I said, And I said, don't tell me. And I said, tell me this is the first time. And he hesitated. I'm like, just tell me for my sake this is the first time. So then I gave him the clippers, and I haven't bought a pair since. I invested in scissors because I figured if you want to take the time to clear your downstairs with scissors, go ahead.
Yeah, well, plus you can always sanitize those a little easier than trimmers.
I can run them through a flame and then through some alcohol and then through a flame again.
Yeah, and then if it's ever clear, you can drink the alcohol.
They should just dip the scissors in that were on somebody's nuts? Sure.
Actually,
that's probably some sort of weird drink in Mexico. Oh, we dip a pair of scissors that were used to trim Jose's pubes over here in Everclear, and then we light it on fire and serve it to you.
What do you call that? Oh, that's the Australian tea bag.
You're like, why is it Australian?
Oh, it comes from down under.
It's from down under. I see exactly what you did there. That was a well-structured joke. That was a well-structured joke written on the fly, my friend.
Thank you for setting that up. I appreciate what you did there.
You're welcome.
Yes.
That was well written on the fly.
Yes,
you did very well.
unwritten. Total spoken word on the fly, but still.
That's why this is all improv, folks.
Yeah, Phil has literally written down his...
There's 15 to 20 words on that page, if that?
And, page... It's a return envelope from some piece of junk mail that he got.
It really is. It actually is. It's legit. I figure I fancy myself an environmentalist, so if I'm just going to throw it away, I might as well use it for one more thing.
If he gets far enough down the list, the last thing will be place stamp here.
Holy shit! Yeah. It says actually save on postage, enroll in Frontier online bill pay. Fuck you, Frontier. You are bitches, by the way. You charge way too much
I'm
for
guessing
shitty
you
service.
have that because you enrolled in Frontier online bill pay.
I did.
Son of a bitch, they get you every time.
And they still... nothing's worse than Semco, though. Fuck those fucking fuckers from Semco. So, you can pay by check, or if you call in to pay, or if you pay online, they charge you $3.50 to pay your own fucking bill.
Hey, so I have a Semco story.
So fuck Semco. If you're listening out there and you work for Semco, tell your boss to fuck right the fuck off.
So, we had always paid by check because my wife refused to pay the $3.50
right.
that they charged to process it. So, she pays by check.
Semco's our gas company, by the way, for those out of the area.
Yeah. If you couldn't tell by just how bad they suck, that they're utility.
Yes.
So, my wife sends in the bill. We get our next bill, and the bill's not paid. She's got, the record of what check it was and everything. She calls them. They're like, well, and now if a payment doesn't go through or something, you immediately get like
a shut-off notice. We're
shutting your shit off.
Yeah.
So thanks for all the real deadbeats out there that aren't paying their bill that they have to do that.
Ugh.
But anyways, they're like, well, you could use our online pay option. She goes, can I do it for free? No, it's $3.50. So she goes, well, I sent you guys this check. And this was in the middle, so it was a significant check, a few $100. And so she goes ahead and pays it online. Like, the next day, the check shows up as cash through the account.
Motherfucker.
And it's like, you sons of bitches had it. So she called him back and just read him the riot because there was a late fee on everything.
Right.
So she calls him back. She's like, not only did you take my payment, you charged me $3.50 extra, you put a late fee on it, and then you cashed my goddamn check. So it was, they just didn't mark it in the system.
Right.
So they cashed it, but it was still, they didn't show us they had it. So we had to wait until we had to go get a copy of the canceled check. We pulled it offline because we're not Neanderthals. So we pulled it offline, sent it to them, and then like 6 weeks later got a credit for the thing that we paid them for on time when we paid it.
Right.
And I don't think she ever got a refund for the $3.50 for the online payment or the late fee that they charged us.
Son of a bitch.
But there comes a point when, like, $20, you spent more time bitching about it than $20 is worth.
Absolutely. So a couple winters ago when I was having my terrible winter when I got let go from that one job and everything had fallen apart because basically, you see what had happened was I was working at that job in Mason and they paid for a relocation package when I moved over there. Well, this new job in Marlette, which I can talk shit about them, it's fucking Oedeker's in Marlette, which go fuck yourself, Ryan. And I can say that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
is that due to therapy or just time?
That's due to time. It's
okay.
Time sensitive. This guy can go fuck himself. Fired me a week and a half before Christmas after working there for 8 weeks after promising me the world.
Oh, shit.
And so I was on hard times because what had happened was they wanted me so quickly. They wanted me in October, and I needed to just work at Dark Container until December, and then I would have had my 2 years, and I wouldn't have had to pay back my relocation. So in order to quit that job, I had to write them a check for like $4,500, which was all of my savings. At the time.
Nice.
Because it was shortly after, not long after my divorce and everything. I didn't have a big savings or anything. And and I also needed to pay the kids for the kids' health insurance, so I was bringing it up on my credit card. So when he fired me at the time, I had no savings, and my credit card was damn near maxed out. And I had a rough winter, so I'm trying to find another job, trying to do whatever. My hot water heater broke down. My car fucking broke down. Everything. It was probably the worst 3-month stint of my life. But I made it through. I survived. Put my car in the ditch, too, and I had to fix it. Like, it was terrible. And just so I decided to let, the Semco bill, the gas bill, like, slide 1 month. I'm like, it'll be fine. It'll go 1 month. I'll catch them next month. And sure enough, sure as shit, they had me on the payment plan because it was grandfathered in from my grandfather. Symmetry there. And they said, nope, you need to pay the full balance. You're no longer grandfathered in, and we will shut you down if you don't pay. And it was like $277 or something like that. And so ever since then, I've been like, you know what? Fuck you fuckers. So after 1 month, yeah.
So I had, before I was married, I lived in a house that we partied at quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, I remember that house very well.
And so one day I'm sitting there and, like, literally the power just goes out.
Yeah.
And I assumed at first, this is wintertime, I assumed at first that the power actually went out. And so I didn't think much of it. I'm just like, oh, shit, power went out. So I'm dinking around the house a little bit. It's daylight. Well, a couple hours go by, power's still not on. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to go see if the neighbor's power's out. So I go over to my mom and dad's, because I lived right next door. Go over there. They got power.
Right.
I'm like, huh, son of a bitch. So I go back home. I'm like, well, maybe it's the main breaker. So there was 2 main breakers in that place. There was the main breaker in the power in the distribution panel.
Yeah.
And then there was a big button in the basement that you had to press.
It just said hot.
Yes. And so I go down with a flashlight in the basement. I press the button. Nothing happens. I go up and I flick the master, the main breaker off in the circuit breaker box. Nothing happens. I go back down to the basement, press the button again, and I notice that the button just isn't pushing in totally. And I'm like, well, that's really weird. So then I go out to look and see if there's a power line down or anything, and I happen to look over at my meter, and it's upside down. And I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah, that's weird.
So I call Edison. I go back over to my parents' house. I call Edison, and I'm like, hey, my power's off. No, it's not. Like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, trust me, I'm sitting in my living room with candles.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's kind of cold. This is like a Thursday, right?
Right.
And so they're like, oh, well, we must have made a mistake. We were supposed to turn the power out 2 houses away from yours, but we came and turned yours off instead.
Are you shitting me?
We'll be out Monday.
Are you fucking with me?
No.
What was this, on a Thursday?
This was on a Thursday.
Yeah.
We'll have somebody out Monday to fix that.
Did you say,
luckily,
fuck the fuck no?
Well, luckily I have resources at Edison, and I called them, and they're like, just go do this. So I went and I actually, they told me how to bypass my meter.
Right.
And they're like, just make sure before they come back
that you back off.
Disconnect this. And so I went and bypassed my meter and had power all weekend, and then
oh, that weekend we ran everything. You're like, plug the fuck everything in, man.
Yeah, just run it all.
Charge all your shit, plug on your shit.
Yeah, let's get in let's heat the house all with electric.
That's right.
I didn't care. So, but Monday. They were going to let me sit there till Monday. So I unplugged it, put my meter back in upside down, and the guy comes out and he's like, well, your security tag's gone. I'm like, huh, your jackasses that didn't know how to turn off the right house probably didn't put on the right security tag.
Bada boom, bada bing.
As I'm looking, and it's laying in the snow.
Yeah.
Right below it, cut.
Yes.
And but I was like, oh, those guys must not have did that right.
So it's funny because my house here, as everybody knows, I bought my grandparents' old house. The tag on my meter that you say the security tag, it's been cut since I moved into that place.
Really?
Yeah, it's just been cut. It's been open. I've never fucked with it, but.
Well, you want to know how to bypass your meter?
Sure. Come on over after the podcast. Let's do it.
All right. Let's get it done.
So anyway, it's funny you say that because that leads us to another story. So my hot water heater is, I have no hot water. It's the middle of, it's fucking January. Heat works in the house, but taking cold showers in January sucks ass, if you can imagine.
Yes.
So my dad, God bless my father. My parents are awesome. I love them. I love them both. They're both amazing people, which is why it's shocking I turned out to be such a shithead. But
it is.
Yeah, it really is. Because you know my mom. You met my dad. They're both awesome people.
Yeah.
So my dad comes over. He's like, all right, don't stress. We'll fix it. Hot water heater's not that old. He's like, oh, it's probably a burnout element. So I run to... Then we didn't have anything open here in town. We do now. But we had to run all the way to Sandusky to buy an element for it, which is 15 minutes away. And like I said, vis-a-vis see me being broke, so even a gallon of gas to go back and forth to Sandusky at the time was a tough proposition. And I buy a new element, which is all of, $17 or $18. And we go to fix it. It's not working. My dad says, well, maybe it's the they've got the controller thermostat. So I go and buy one of those over at... I had to go over to Sandusky once again, and I buy it, and this part's like $23. We put it on and nothing. And finally I asked my dad, I'm like, you know what, I'm an engineer, let me figure this out. So I go to trace power back, because I get my multimeter out.
Now you're serious.
Right. It's only getting 110 at the terminals on top, and I'm like, you need 220 for this to work, 220 volts. So I trace it all the way back to the box, and sure enough, coming in from the outside is only 110. And I'm like, well, this can't be fucking right. And I am beating my head against the wall. This is 4 or 5 days into it now. 4 or 5 days into it. Of me sitting at home, unemployed, probably drunk most of the time, and unable to take a hot shower, which is just what I needed to sober up, but a cold shower too. But, and I'm frustrated beyond all hell because, life has just really gone to shit. And, my dad finally says, you know what? Call this electrician that worked with me. Maybe he'll come out and take a look at it, be able to figure it out. And lo and behold, this guy, God bless him too, he's on vacation, and he says, I'll tell you what, do you have this little box outside that's green and plastic, and it looks like a meter, but it's blank? I said, yeah. He says, well, what that is one of the boxes that controls your hot water heater, and it's a grid monitor. So if the grid is pulling too much power, DTE can cut the power to your hot water heater. And he says a lot of those times, if you're telling me, and good for you on checking, but you're only getting 110 coming in, which you need a 220 to get the hot water heater to function properly, those things go to shit. All right. I'm like, what do I owe you? He's like, nothing, man. Come on. He says, it's cold. I'm just happy to help, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're awesome. So I call DTE. I'm on the phone with them for an hour and 15 minutes trying to explain what the fuck is going on. Because they keep saying, well, sir, if it's in your house, it's on you. It's not on us. I'm like, no, it's your piece of shit box outside I want you to come check. It says fucking property of DTE right on the motherfucker. And I just go around and around. Finally, she's like, all right, well, we'll send a technician out. Well, how soon can you send them out? And she's like, in 2 days. Okay. Come out 2 days later. Once you know it, my fucking hot water heater works.
They're the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, they are.
Yeah. But the good part is since then, obviously the one part, I kept the one element we pulled out of there because I knew it was still good, and sure enough, one of the other, it has two elements, top and bottom. The other one went, so I had the element to replace it, and I still have an extra controller box if I need it for it, so I guess.
So when I worked in banking, one more dis-Edison story.
One more gripe, fuck them.
So when I used to work in banking, one of our offices, I go down there and I get there before the branch opens and stuff, before all the branches open, basically. Yeah. And I log in, and I'm like, well, this is weird. Some stuff isn't working. That's odd. So I start looking into it, and I'm like, well, I have outlets that aren't working in our server room. So then as people get there, and they're like, well, my computer won't turn on. Okay. But your lights work and everything else? Yep. So I start looking at the breakers and stuff. All the breakers are fine. I have server racks that the battery backup units that run off of 220 are down there beeping.
Right.
And I'm like, well, what the hell is going on? But, some of the power down there was totally fine. So I'm like, I don't understand this. Have our battery backup units gone bad? Then I'm like, well, wait a minute. The plugs upstairs are not on battery backup.
Right.
So we have a gigantic generator at this office. So I go and I'm like, okay, I'm going to basically do a generator test. I'll cut over and we'll fire up the generator, see what happens.
See what's going on.
Everything comes back live.
So you weren't getting enough amperage or voltage pumped into your system then?
We have 3-phase power running into that building.
Yep.
one of the phases was down, which takes out half the building. I mean, this was a huge building. Takes down a bunch of the building. Takes down one of the legs that feed our battery backup units. And so switching over to generator power.
Generator put it back up to 3-phase,
So I call Edison, and I'm like, hey, you have a phase down. Well, how do you know that?
What? Yeah.
How do you know that?
Do what?
I'm like, because I have a phase that is not working in the building, and when I go to generator power, everything is fine. Okay, but how did you deduce that the phase isn't working? I said, well, I have a bunch of the plugs in the building that aren't working. I have one half of my 220 going to my battery backup units that aren't working. Okay, but we still don't understand how you figured this out.
It was the same with my metered box there.
Yeah.
To protect the power grid. Like I said, I understand why it's there. If the power grid's being overloaded, sure. If you shut somebody's hot water heater down for like an hour or two, they're probably not going to notice because, it's insulated well enough that it's really not going to hurt anybody. But yeah, it's just like that. It was the same. Like, well, how do you know this? Ugh.
Like, you're way too stupid
Yeah.
to figure anything with our company out.
Right.
And yet the people that you're talking to are absolutely the lowest common denominator at Detroit Edison.
Man, we bagged on DTE and Semco. I might go home and have cold water and no electricity. Holy fuck.
Yeah, we might be. Look, good thing this one's not live.
Yeah, good
We'll at least have a couple hours of heat and power left.
Oh, man, a couple hours at least. Oh, yeah. Utilities are the worst.
They are. They're evil.
Think about how much money. Like, it's almost like, I like the. All right, so to get the trifecta, fucking cell phone companies.
Oh, dear
Think
God.
about how much money they charge you for service for something that costs them nothing other than maintaining the equipment and paying the people that are their employees. So basically, everything you're paying for is for their employees and maintaining their equipment. It costs you nothing to make a cell phone call on their network.
No. And there are. It's not just cell phone companies. It's telecom companies to begin with.
It's a ripoff, man.
I have I'm going through a project at work, and our main telecom company, when I called them and said, hey, I'm thinking about switching, what can you guys do on our bill? Well, nothing. Okay, well, I can cut the bill by like 70% by going away from you guys, so what can you do? Well, nothing.
You got to say did you say cancel? No,
yes, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and they still didn't, huh?
No, they wouldn't play ball. Now they're crying because we're leaving.
You're going away from us. But you also treated us like assholes. I think, didn't I have a rant about this, about how they don't take care of loyal customers, but they'll give the new... Yeah, this is just a couple podcasts ago I was talking about this. Man, I've been all up in utility companies' asses lately. It's been, I guess I don't have much better to do right now.
Well, yeah, you're kind of like the old man on the lawn.
I guess, I was just
going to
say, I'm shaking... Yeah.
So, real quick, Tuscola Palooza.
Yeah.
Coming up August 7th, 2021. It's an all-day thing. Go to Tuscolapalooza.com and get your tickets. They're cheap. The entertainment is not. Tons of local bands. We have a KISS tribute band coming in. Infamous Quick, Sugar Punk Fairies, The 99 will be there. All really, really great local talent, and a bunch of other bands on top of that. There's going to be food trucks. There's going to be just any number of entertainment. Phil and I will be there in some capacity doing something worthwhile to entertain people when the real entertainers are not on the stage. So we don't know exactly what that'll be, but it will be something. We will do it.
That's a great point. We will have to try to entertain people while the real entertainers are not entertaining. We'll do our best. It's going to be tough, though, but we'll figure something out, Adam. Maybe we'll do it like when you were in Boy Scouts and do a little skit or something.
I've decided that I should probably try my knife throwing trick, where I throw knives at you.
Okay. Do I have to be on a big spinning wheel or something?
No, just stand there.
Okay.
Maybe put a balloon in your mouth or something. I mean, I won't hit it. But,
okay.
We'll also have as part of that act, a blood splatter analyst on hand.
He can tell you the velocity and at which angle the
yes.
Knife approached my...
What kind of knife?
Yes.
Yeah.
He can tell you the blade size and the strike point and just give you all the analytics. So that'll be very, very interesting. So Tuscola Palooza, I cannot wait. And that's right around the corner now because we're going to be into July here.
Yeah, just a couple days coming up on the July 4th weekend. Everybody, stay safe. Yes. I did DJ.
Back it up, Terry.
I did DJ a wedding not long ago that had somebody in the wedding party that had, just after 4th of July, that had a injury. So they had their hand all wrapped up. And, well, I shouldn't say their hand all wrapped up. 2 of the fingers they had left were wrapped up.
Oh, my goodness.
So it was a good one.
Oh, Jesus.
That must have been one of them M80s. you get the good M80 from Ohio?
You got them summer fingers. Some are here, some ain't.
Some are over there.
Oh, jeez. I've actually have a couple people I know that have been in accidents with fireworks that messed them up pretty good. And one person did lose a finger, yeah.
So several years ago, we were letting off big fireworks. And I'm way down by the pond, setting fireworks off. And this was at my parents' house. So the kids are all way up the hill, right?
Right.
Well, I had mortars, and one just tipped over.
Oh.
And it tipped over, aimed towards them.
Oh, shit.
Luckily, they're fast. And
well, they were that day.
Yeah. I never seen my kids move that fast. You tell them to go do something, they'd be, that they did not hesitate.
There was what happened to me? It wasn't a big old mortar, but it was it was a mortar. It was a little tube mortar. But we were at my ex-father-in-law's house, and then it lit his grass all on fire because it was dry, and he was, and my ex-wife did not appreciate that.
Worse than the flamethrower?
Yeah.
There was a streak leading. It's gone now,
yes.
But there was a streak leading to the Target at my house.
I got to get that back out and play with it. I haven't. What has been going on with me, man? I haven't been doing anything.
No.
I went out magnet fishing today for the first time in a while.
Really?
Yeah, I've got all this equipment for magnet fishing, which I love. I enjoy it, and I decided to randomly go out today for about half an hour. And
Did you get anything?
Yeah, the normal junk, about 3 or 4 nails, a couple pieces of rebar, and I found I got a hub, a little tractor hub.
Nice.
So there was shit to be got.
Yeah.
It's just fascinating. I guess it's kind of like metal detecting. It's, I don't know, you can drink beer and do it at your own leisure. There's some sport to it too. I'm trying to learn that maybe someday I'll be the guy that they got to drag the waters for a weapon that was ditched overboard or something. Maybe I could be the guy to do that. So I'm training myself for another career because let's face it, being an engineer will get you nowhere. If your children want to go to school to be an engineer, tell them no.
Well, it's gotten you to Sandusky.
Yeah. Yep, so far we're getting there. Hey, another gripe I have today. Have we seen the end of Amazon's 2-day delivery forever?
I'm so pissed off at my Prime membership, I'm ready to get rid of it.
Like, why the fuck do I have Prime? The whole reason I had Prime, I get it, you get free shipping. But it was because I got it in 2 days generally.
Yeah.
Now, I ordered a bunch of shit yesterday, and they're like, you'll have it by Friday. Like, they're doing me a fucking favor.
Yeah.
They even have an exclamation point. Your delivery will arrive on Friday.
Friday, we're excited.
And I'm
should
like,
be here
motherfucker,
Wednesday.
should be here Wednesday, right?
Hell yeah. No,
am I not the only person feeling this? Like, this is bullshit.
It's like, if I'm going to wait for stuff, I'll just drive to Port Huron for it.
I would just go get it myself.
Yeah.
Like, the whole appeal that Amazon had is going to go away. And I feel like we need to revolt and make sure that they get that back. That was the whole appeal of it. You get it in 2 days. If not, I could drive to goddamn wherever. If I'm not going to get it, I ordered a goddamn fan, just another desk fan because one of mine took a crap, like a little 12-inch fan, and that motherfucker says it's not going to be here till July 7th.
Yeah.
Like, what the absolute
my anniversary,
fuck?
Actually.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. So maybe I should order something and hope that it gets here July 7th to celebrate my anniversary.
I thought, what sort of bullshit? I could have just I would have fucking ran over to fucking Walmart.
Yeah.
Gotten it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so pissed about it.
No,
so
I
think Amazon's going to use the excuse of fucking COVID to make sure we never get 2-day delivery again.
Now, I did order something the other day, and it came in a day.
Right. Pre-COVID, I got everything within 1 to 2 days that I ever ordered from Amazon. Sans maybe 1 or 2 things.
I ordered wireless fiber.
Right.
Because I wanted to beam fiber from one building to another. So I bought wireless fiber. And I was shocked. It was there in one day. I ordered it on Sunday. It was there on Monday. I'm like, holy shit.
Wow.
I'm like, this is the Amazon of old days.
Right?
Yeah. And so I was just blown away. And they're pretty awesome, I got to say.
Yeah.
I'm pretty impressed.
But I was thinking about this because I was thinking, I went out magnet fishing today, and I have my 2 what I call scout magnets, which are like, they're about 1,000-pound magnets. And I need a middle one because I lost my middle one in the lake last year. Your middle one's about 1,600 pounds for drawing pretty decent stuff. Like the little magnets, the 1,000-pound, they say they're a 1,000-pound draw, but you're good to lift up shit that's anywhere between 5 to about 12 pounds,
Yeah.
But you can. I call them scout magnets because if you pull on something, you can feel the magnetic attraction, and if that magnet doesn't get it done, you send down the bigger magnet. So the middle one's about 1,600. That'll pull about 20, 25 pounds. And then there's my big dog, and the reason I don't use him constantly is because he just beats himself up because he can pull about 50 to 80 pounds, and it's a 2,400-pound draw magnet. Like, it just beats itself up if you keep throwing it out there over and over again.
Yep.
So you keep that one in the back pocket for when you find something bigger that the other 2 magnets can't keep track of. So I said, you know what, I want to take the kids out this weekend or next week, because I have them all next week, to do some magnet fishing. Like, I need another one of these middle magnets. And I get on Amazon, and I'm like, the earliest they can get to me is like late next week. And I'm like, and they got the Prime check on them too. Oh, Prime delivery. Like, no, it's not Prime delivery anymore, you bitch.
And how often did you not even look at things that weren't Prime?
Right.
Like, I just filtered them out.
Yeah.
Not Prime? To hell with it.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
need it.
Yeah.
I got to wait for it? What? 4 days? To hell with that. Not doing that.
Now they want me to wait a week and a half for something that I normally used to get in like 2 days easily.
And then they brag about it. Like,
yeah.
Oh, this is Prime. This is great. It's like, nope. I'll see you when you come out with the next season of The Boys.
That's right, you bitch.
Yep. Bastards.
God damn it. Ugh.
So is it too hot for pictures? Is that what the...
Yeah, I don't know. You could probably have us bring over a pitcher of beer when you get a chance.
I heard something about the heat and them getting warm, but,
Well, it's the heat of the meat and the angle of the dangle is what I was always told.
You were lied to.
Yeah, very much so. Well, here's the thing, kids. You're being lied to a lot. Let me just tell you. And if you think for a minute, if you look at an adult and think they have a clue what the fuck they're doing, you're wrong. So it's just the way it is. We're all just flying by the seat of our pants and just doing our best. I don't know what to do. Hell, I'm just trying to live my best life.
Sorry, you had to carry it there for a second because
that's all right. You took a big chomp of wing, and I appreciate that.
I did.
Adam does have a big old thing of wingies over there.
I've been slowly.
That's his happy place.
Yeah. They bring me 6 wings, and it's like Christmas.
It is.
Well, speaking of that, kids, when they tell you there's a Santa Claus, and you find out that that's not true, and then you're like, when you try and use the logic, then why do we go to church every Sunday?
Oh, my goodness.
God, damn it,
you went there.
Yeah, damn it, kids.
That's normally my job.
Yeah. No, I understand the logic.
Right.
And, that's why I'm glad we have the Easter Bunny that's real.
Thank God the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy are real.
Yeah.
Because if it weren't for the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy, this would be a godless land.
Yeah. That's how I reinforce that there is a God, and he loves you through hiding eggs.
Right. And of course, an all-accepting and all-loving God's going to threaten you with an eternity of purgatory, because that's what an all-loving and all-accepting God would do.
Yes. And then reward you by hiding eggs.
Of course. It's all about the eggs, man.
Do not.
The eggs, it represents life, according to Beastie Boys.
Do not misconstrue my brash realization here with atheism or anything like that. This is just simply a look at the irony.
Jason McConaughey, I don't know if he still listens to this podcast or not, which if he does, awesome. If not, fuck you, buddy. He calls me an atheist all the time.
If he does still listen to it, it's a record attention span for him.
For him, it is. I know Katie still listens, and she's probably one of our. Besides her and Cookie are probably 1A and 1B as far as our number one fans, and I'm not going to classify which one is which.
No, he might take the cake because he does spend time in the hedges.
Yeah, he wants to see what's going on with us. He's the historian.
He's filming a behind-the-scenes documentary.
It's going to be terrible.
It's an unauthorized documentary.
I love the fact that unauthorized.
Unauthorized documentary, mostly from the hedges. That's the title of it.
P&A Podcast Express from the hedges.
Backstage and through the windows. P&A Podcast Express.
It's gonna. Oh man.
So my mom, she ran the Roomba earlier.
Oh no! Yes. Well, that's the P&A Podcast.
Yeah.
From the hedges.
I hope he does not go and get that going. Let me tell you, I went to film that documentary. Those guys just whack it a lot.
I've never seen so much whacking in my life. That's all they were doing.
Those boys are busy. I don't know how they have time for a podcast at 7:30 on a Monday.
That's the only break they give themselves when they're doing the podcast.
Well, I say break, but sometimes they're doing it through the podcast too.
Sometimes they're still jerking through the podcast. Oh, good Lord. Oh.
My mom gets mad every time she comes down and my pants aren't on.
That's right. She gets mad because we go through so much Kleenex.
She said to stay out of her good lotions.
But I like the way they make my junk smell. And moisturized.
I'm like, Mom, Victoria's not the only one that's got a secret.
Surprise!
It does say Bath and Body Works.
I'm just using it more on the body. Jesus Christ.
I was told that Vaseline was good for this. Intensive care or not.
Petroleum jelly. If this is dinosaurs, then God bless them. Have you ever had dinosaurs on your junk?
I'm sure I have at some point or another. Oh boy.
That just sprung in my brain.
That's really sad and bad.
See, I always said this. I'm like, technically using fossil fuels is recycling.
Yeah. And if you think about it, shit dies every day, so that means we're replenishing.
They will rebuild. I mean, isn't that funny how the tune has changed, where now they say, actually, we won't run the Earth out of fossil fuels for probably ever?
And I literally listened to somebody the other day say, I heard that, and then I literally heard somebody say the other day, if we don't drastically change what we're doing, in 7 years, we'll be at a point of no return. No return from what?
Yeah, fuck. I know. And I, like I said, I do fancy myself an environmentalist, but I don't buy into the whole thing. Like, it's a simple formula. Like, plant some fucking trees. That's basic. Don't litter. Pick up your junk.
Yeah.
Pick up your shit. Dispose of it properly. Recycle. That's it.
Pick up your junk and your garbage too.
Pick up your junk. Put some dinosaur jelly on it, and
Kentucky dinosaur jelly.
Oh man, we got the Kentucky dinosaur jelly just for you, for all your jacking needs. You could tell everybody I had a pterodactyl on my junk.
I won't use that lumberjack paper towel because I ain't gay.
I don't use brawny. A little too gay for me.
Yep, won't do it. That guy's wearing a flannel. I'm not into those grunge types.
I use the DG special paper towels. I ain't worried about them being gay.
I use Angel Soft. I picture them being girls.
It's the halo.
If I can't whack it to your label, I ain't using it.
If I can't whack it to your label,
they don't send me no Sears catalogs no more, so I got to rely on the paper towel label.
Oh, they don't send me no Sears catalog no more.
Ain't got none of those. Ain't got one in a while. The last one I got, the hairdos are different. Just don't do it for me.
That's one thing I used to do in high school is sign all my buddies up for Victoria's Secret catalogs with their names on them coming to their house. Always classy.
So you know when you used to go into the old Farmer Jack?
Of course.
And they had the rack
savings
of
time, yeah.
They had the rack of like cards out there that you could grab for information on stuff.
Yes.
Poor Kevin Cohn, every year for his birthday, I'd fill out the bedwetting card for him and have the information sent to him for his birthday every year for like, I don't know, a long time. Like when I stopped being able to find those cards, I went and I would sign them up for him on the internet.
On them internets?
Yeah, on the interwebs.
No, I shall call up the internet.
Yes.
Oh, Kevin Cohn, if you listen to this, how was the bedwetting information?
By now, it should be all taken care of.
I would think so. I mean, if you've gotten enough information on how to curtail those activities.
I'm sure the bedwetting place, the people that watch the stats on the website are like, you know, it's weird. Every year about the same time, somebody comes to our site, signs somebody up, and then the next page they go to is Pornhub. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on.
It's a weird leap, man. It's a weird leap.
Yeah. I don't know how the two coincide, but...
When I look at our stats, normally they go right from bedwetting to the IRS website. But, actually, or Semco or DTE.
Or Brawny Paper Towel.
Or Brawny Paper Towel. Or Amazon Prime. Oh, wait. Fuck Amazon Prime.
Nobody goes there anymore. Nothing prime about it.
No, you're just an average citizen now.
Yeah, just some jackass.
No, but think about it, though. If you take away Amazon's ability to get you shit in 2 days and for free because you pay for Prime, which you pay for, what good are they over any other fucking website?
So, here's a great story.
All right, go on. Tell me more.
My wife tells me, she's like, I ordered a tent. I'm like,
what the fuck? All right, you need a tent.
I'm like, okay, you want a tent? She's been talking about wanting a tent camp. I'm like, yeah, can't get up off the ground, so that makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
And she's like, I want a tent camp. So she's like, I ordered a tent. I'm like, what the hell did you get for a tent? She goes, it was online. It was only like $40. I'm like, all right, it's going to be some little two-person thing that we're not going to enjoy. But
Christ, he's tiny.
And she's like, no, it's pretty nice. She shows me a picture of it, and I'm like, that is pretty decent for $40. I'm like, that's awesome. And so, like 3 weeks later, this was not off of Amazon or anything. This is like, you know,
like the good old days.
Ching chong, ching 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 ching, zing zhong.
Zing Pao China.
Yeah, it looked like the web address looked like something out of a Chinese menu.
Right.
And so,
ooh, Chinese food sounds good right now. Go on.
So yes, it does. That's all right. You'll be hungry for it again in an hour.
That's right. Marlette has a decent Chinese place.
No, I've never been there. I've heard the people of Marlette do not feel that it's good.
I thought it was good.
Did you?
But anyway,
I digress. So a couple weeks later, she sends me a message. She goes, I got the tent. And I see picture downloading. And I'm like, what do you think? She goes, you don't see it? And I'm like, well, the picture's downloading because I don't get any signal in my office.
And that was from China. They probably intercepted the signal. They're like,
yes.
No, if you're going to talk shit about our tent.
It wasn't a tent. It was literally a 3-foot by 3-foot piece of nylon material.
Really?
That had a little pocket sewn onto it that you could take that 3 by 3 piece of nylon, fold it up, and stuff it in the pocket. That was it. There was no tent stakes, no tent poles, no tent zippers.
Oh, my goodness.
It was literally that. So she contacts the company. She says, okay, look, I bought this, and you sent me this. And she sends them a picture. They're like, that's what you ordered. And she's like, no, I ordered a tent. She sent them a picture of the description. They said, we will refund you within 6 to 8 weeks after we receive it back.
Oh, shit.
And you have to ship it at your expense.
Oh, shit.
And she's just like, no. So, you know, contacted PayPal. She bought it through there. She's like, look, this is what they gave. They refunded her their
PayPal
money.
made it right, didn't they?
Yeah,
PayPal will do that.
Yeah, because, well, they're used to dealing with
China.
that shit. Yeah.
But China still got their money. They still got paid, I guarantee.
Oh, yeah, yeah. For a piece of nylon that folds in, a black piece of nylon that folds into a red piece of nylon.
Right. Well, God bless PayPal. They are a good company, by the way.
They
because,
are.
One time I bought Lions tickets from a lady, and she said, well, PayPal me, and I will send you electronically the information, and she never sent it. And so I sent PayPal a message and said I didn't receive it. And they're like, well, all right. Talked to a lady, I got a phone call and everything, and they did refund my money, though. That lady did get paid. Trifling bitch that she was. So
I think I'm going to start frauding people with PayPal.
So that
we both get paid.
Yeah, of course. It's actually a racket that's probably not bad.
No, I imagine there's people out there that do quite well with that.
That are on both ends of it.
Yeah.
That are just wagging the dog because they're making it happen. That's why whenever I think companies, like when I see things online that are going to be a little bit iffy, I make sure I either pay with my credit card or with PayPal because I know they'll protect me. Never pay with my debit card. Because once that money's out of your account, oopsie, if you authorized it.
Yeah, see ya.
Yeah, but Chase has been good about that too. Like there was some Lego sets I found right before Christmas. This company that had them for like half price for the big Millennium Falcons, Lego sets. It's like $1,000. Then for like $500. So I bought 2 of them. Figured if I do actually get it, I got one for my boy and one to flip.
Yeah,
get the money back. Never arrived. Called them. Chase, no problem. Or not Chase. Capital One took care of it.
Yeah,
fucking great.
I've had a few things go weird on my debit card, even from my bank, and they were like, "No, we'll take care of it." So I've been pretty impressed by that. There's very little that impresses me about my bank.
Yeah,
but that they've been solid on.
Yeah, and I bank locally. They've been good. But Capital One, if you don't have a Capital One card, I recommend going through Capital One all the time. I haven't. For once, after me bitching about everybody and anyone, Capital One I have no complaints about. PayPal I have no complaints about.
And if you are Capital One or PayPal and you would like to sponsor the P&A Podcast Express, email us at pnapodcastexpress@gmail.com or pineapple-nipple-arsehole@gmail.com. And if you are Gmail, give us pineapple nipple asshole.
That's
asshole.
Right. Asshole. And hey, we're not as attractive as Jennifer Garner, and we probably are not as influential as Samuel L. Jackson, but we'll say, hey, what's in your wallet?
Yeah. Well, I can tell you what's not is pineapple nipple asshole.
Yeah, that's not in our wallet. Damn it.
That's a crying damn shame.
It's probably arriving 4 days later via Amazon Prime. Cocksuckers.
Free miscellaneous shipping from Amazon Prime.
That's what it should be anymore.
Yeah.
Free miscellaneous shipping at a time constraint which we will set forth.
Yeah, your guess is as good as ours when you'll get it shipping. For free.
For free. Yeah. So guess what? You're going to pay $13.99 a month for Prime. And you get streaming video.
Oh,
yeah. And free shipping, but we can't tell you when.
No, we won't tell you when. We refuse.
We don't give a fuck.
Yep.
It's just, it'll arrive when it arrives, my friend.
It is a sad state of affairs that we've come to.
And they still, I ordered a record, and we need to listen to this. One of my buddy's bands out in Seattle. They're called Buffalo Preacher. I ordered a vinyl because I wanted to support them. And he shipped it, and he sent me the tracking number. And it's been 5 or 6 days. It just says in transit right now.
Yeah. USPS?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think that a lot of their...
And he's all like, well, I feel bad because don't feel bad, dude. You gave me the shipping tracking. It says all the information right there. I know it's the post office fucking up.
Barcode scanners have not reached the Midwest yet.
Yeah.
Obviously, because when something hits the middle sector of the country, like from the Rockies to the Mississippi, it's a no man's land.
Yeah. And that's what it is. They shipped it from Seattle. Like I said, I wanted to support. I know that my buddy Drew, he's listened to the podcast on occasion. His band, they're actually fairly big. They're classified as national recording artists.
Nice.
And so I bought one of their vinyls just to support them, And I just waiting for it to come so I can listen to the goddamn thing.
And who are they again?
Their name's Buffalo Preacher is the name of the band. Buffalo Preacher. They actually have their own...
label?
No, what's the Pandora station? They have their own Pandora station, Buffalo Preacher. Yeah.
Really?
Yep. They're bluesy. They're a bluesy rock outfit.
Well, that's usually good stuff.
It's good music. We'll listen to it. Maybe we'll even... I'm sure they wouldn't mind if we put a couple of their songs on our fucking podcast. I'm sure they wouldn't bitch about it.
Fantastic. Do they own all their music then? They're not?
Yep. Oh, yeah. It's all original. Yep.
So we could have that be a lead-in while we tempt some jerky.
Yes.
I did bring some. I have to go out and get it. but I did bring a selection for the quick trip.
I was going to say that's going to have to be for the quick trip because by my clock we're probably about wrapping this.
We are about ready to wrap it up, and I think it's been an alright podcast.
I don't know. I bitched a lot, but I feel better.
People like it when we bitch.
Yeah, they do. It's relatable.
Yeah,
it's
most people have the
content.
same bitches. Most people have the same bitches.
It's kind of like in was that I think it was Waterboy. I play D&D too, right? We're dorks, man. I play Dungeons. I play D&D too.
Well, who hasn't been fucked by Semco?
Right.
Who hasn't been fucked by DTE?
Right.
But
yet you have no choice. It's a monopoly, folks, and that's what I'm trying to get at is what's wrong here.
So here's another fantastic thing. My brother years ago had some health issues.
Yeah.
He was in the hospital for a while. And so he was obviously off of work for quite a while. He let DTE know that, hey, I've
it's tough times, man. Help me out, right?
Well, and I have pay coming in, but it's delayed because I was in the hospital, all this and that. Oh yeah, no problem.
Right.
Just, we'll set your payment back a couple weeks, no problem.
That's what they say.
The very next day, they came out and they didn't just disconnect his meter. They literally cut the line.
Holy fuck!
Coming into the house.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we don't really have a better way to didn't have a better way to disconnect you. And he came home and everything with medical equipment that he needed to operate.
Right. That needs electricity,
and I felt horrible for him. So I actually called and just chewed their ass out. I'm like, look, he arranged this with you. Here's who he talked to. Here's everything about this.
The thing is, and here's another thing. Thank you for mentioning that. When you talk to these fuckers about the shit, document. Get the name, get the time, get the day. Get the name of the person you talked to, get the time of the day, and get the date it was.
So, I actually told them that I was, and I don't remember the agency that I said I would get a hold of, but I got off the phone with them and I actually started calling that agency, and it was a state agency, and it's, I can't remember what the agency's called that's over all of the...
It wasn't the Better Business Bureau.
No, it was the Michigan Department of Commerce or something like that. It was an actual government agency, not just the Better Business Bureau.
Which is a non-profit organization.
Yeah. But I was actually on the phone with them, and Edison called him back while I was on the phone with them and said, we'll be out later today to put that back together for you.
Yeah.
So, but I have a feeling where I called... Because I'm like, look, he just got home from the hospital.
But the shit of it is, here's the problem, though, Adam, is so many people aren't on the up and up and haven't talked to them, and so many people are just shitty out there that they're used to treating people like shit because they are shit, They haven't paid them for reasons unknown because they're doing drugs, doing whatever. And then when people are legit and have problems, they lack the sympathy for them because they've been desensitized to all this shit.
Well, and my brother and my dad worked for Edison for years. My brother works for Edison, and there is, they're not in the public eye. Neither one of them were. They worked on the actual grid, and they were substation operators.
Right.
But when they would tell me about some of the things that the people in the offices would tell them about, it was like, you got to be kidding me. People coming up with all kinds of crazy off-the-wall excuses why they can't pay,
right?
Why they won't pay, they're not going to pay this bill. I got 12 air conditioners hooked up, and I ain't paying this much for this. I got to stay cool.
Yeah,
that type of crap. No real excuse other than I'm just not going to pay.
I don't want to pay. I don't feel I have to.
Yeah, who's going to make me?
Well, Tesla said he could give us power for free.
Yeah, over to air.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people that just make shit-ass excuses. But when somebody calls you and says, look, I'm going to pay for this in a couple of days. I just got home from the hospital after a long stay. I know that, in my mail was a shut-off notice for tomorrow, and I'll take care of this. You should at least give them a couple of days, not the next day.
Not the next day.
And that's somebody on the other end that just was like, I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit. I don't want to elevate this, or I don't want to have to make these notes.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Me type for 30 seconds? No, I don't want that.
That sounds impossible.
Impossible.
So, all right, off my soapbox.
Ha! Gay!
All right. Well, you've been listening to the P&A Podcast Express. That express is important because without it, hey, see what you find.
Without it, you're just, dealing with my mom.
That's right. Yeah. You're going to get some guys in their basement.
We wanted to make Mondays more fun.
Can we explore on the quick trip about what we'll have to look it up, what their hits are at now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
So that'll be coming up on the quick trip, which tune in on Thursday for the quick trip.
Yes.
And let's get out of here with this one. You can email us at pineapplenipplearsehole@gmail.com. That is arsehole, A-R-S-E, hole,
yes.
all one word, pineapplenipplearsehole@gmail.com, or P&A, that's painful nut allergy, phonetically, podcastexpress@gmail.com. And why not?
Message us on Facebook. I mean, we're both
or
accessible.
Facebook, too, yeah. I mean, I usually answer... be prepared if you say something stupid. I'm going to send you a link to the article 7 Farts That Changed the World, because that's usually what I respond with.
Yes.
Adam can attest to this. We've got some pretty stupid comments
but
on
we love
Facebook
them.
Messenger.
If you want to send us a stupid comment, we'll take it. We're going to make fun of it.
But like I said, be prepared for me to send you the article 7 Farts That Changed the World.
If you're going to send us something stupid, make a fake account and send it, because we are just going to rip on you unmercifully.
That's right.
And if you don't.
Although, we got to apologize to Steve Moon, too. We need to do another interview with Steve. We did get an interview with him. So update on this. And it was great. It was a great interview, but the audio was terrible because it was either on our end or his end. He kept cutting out. We need to do another interview with him.
I think his cell phone, the audio was great when it came through. There was a couple of really good spots where it was really clear.
Right.
But he was on his cell phone, and I don't know that he was in the best of areas. Working on a Bruce Willis film, so we're hoping that, Steve, you become very famous. We can go, yep, had that guy on our podcast.
So,
we launched his
we
career.
need to hook up with him again and re-record. And yes, he is legit. His movie, Out of the Fight, go check it out, about Army veterans dealing with PTSD and suicide rates after being in battle and after being basically in the shit. Steve's a great guy. Gave us a great interview. Unfortunately, we can't bring it to you because it didn't record very well, but we're going to try to get another one. So it is legit. Just an update on that. Steve didn't catfish us. He's a legit guy. He might be the key for a lot of big things for this podcast in the future.
He could do a documentary on podcasts done out of little bars in mid-Michigan.
That's right in his wheelhouse. Yeah. All right, let's get out of here for this one, though, Adam. You've been listening to Adam Filkins, Phil Nickel on the P&A Podcast Express. You know what? Make good choices.